welcome back. If this is your first time, I hope you'll stay. Espero que te quedes. Right, this is all you lovely people who are brave enough, strong enough to have chosen to do A-level MFL, A-level Spanish in this case, okay? A-level Spanish, A-level MFL is considered one of the most difficult A-level area to pass or get a great grade in. To get an A+, A star in a language is extremely hard if you're not a native speaker, meaning you don't have a Spanish mom or a French mom or a German mom or dad. So hard to master. And I think this scares us sometimes, and it is quite intimidating if your hearing is so hard and it's impossible to do really well, and it's such a massive jump from GCSE, because we say a lot, we do. I myself have said it many times that you need to brace yourself, because from GCSE to A-level, it is a massive jump. Saying that, you are here and you're doing it, and I applaud you. So, what are our struggles? Our 5 biggest struggles at A-level Spanish. Okay, let's jump into it, otherwise I'll just go on for days and we don't have time for that, let's face it. Okay, the first struggle we have is the native speakers, understanding native speakers when they talk. When Spanish people talk, does it not just sound like it's one eternal word that never ends? It's like, and you're like, what? I understood the verb ir, or I understood, I don't know, casa. Sometimes it can feel like that. You know, they do speak very, very quickly. And again, we have to remember that we're dealing with different countries. There are over 20 countries where they speak Spanish, and accents are different, expressions are different. It's just so much to go by. And again, even within Spain itself, from region to region, expressions are different, sayings are different. And so that's quite intimidating. It's a lot. You know, to be completely honest, sometimes I say something and I will get a comment online such as, eso no se dice. And I'm like, yeah, maybe not where you're from, but from the region I live in Spain, you do say it. And so you have to bear that in mind as well, that one thing might be okay here and in another area it's not. It's a part of language learning, okay? Right, so native speakers, this is what it might sound like to you. I say to a Spanish person, ¿Cuántos hermanos tienes tú? And you'd probably hear,
Tengo un hermano pequeño que tiene 16 años y le gusta mucho jugar al fútbol. Y a veces estudia mucho y saca buenas notas.
and we're sort of like, what? It's practice though, it's practice. Okay, it's all in our heads though. And with practice, we will get better, I promise, okay? Number 2, our second pain in the neck are cognates. We learn cognates, that words that are the same in Spanish and English, or they're very, very similar. And then you have false friends. Okay, so false friends are the words that look similar to English words, but in actual fact, they are not. So good cognates, so real friends would be ideal. The same word in English, ideal, it means exactly the same. Or tradicional, you see that, and even if you haven't studied a day of Spanish in your life, you know that that means traditional. It's just common sense. We look at it, we know. Or electricidad. We know it's electricity. However, our fake friends are a little bit more complicated. So you have to spend time, you have to spend that effort. You have to make the effort to look up your false friends to make sure you're well prepared for A level. So a common word we see is educado, and obviously educado for us looks like educated. But if you say soy, I'm not going to say soy actually because it just it just sounds like I'm picking up myself. Mi hermano es una persona muy educada. I'm not saying my brother is a very educated person. I'm saying my brother is a very polite person. So this is a false friend. Not educated, but polite. Okay, it's polite. Okay? This is a very common one. The amount of times I've seen this one. Embarazada, it doesn't mean embarrassed. It looks like embarrassed. Embarazada. If I say, oh, estaba tan embarazada, I'm not saying I was so embarrassed. I was saying I was very pregnant indeed. I had a big belly. Okay, estaba embarazada. I was pregnant. So if you're not trying to give that meaning, you be careful with that. So that's another one. It's not embarrassing, but pregnant. So yes, make a big deal out of this. Go and look for fake friends. I think the most popular one, and you see this time and time again, we get this mixed up at every level, sensible. Obviously, sensible is sensible for us. Sensible meaning you have a good head on your shoulders. You know, you have your head screwed on properly, but it doesn't. Sensible means that you're sensitive, okay? So we're going to spend time sensitive. You get quite emotional. Things get to you easily. We are going to spend time with our false friends because they do trip us up, okay? So that's number 2. This point trips us up quite a lot, okay? Okay, perhaps the biggest one is this, feeling stuck, okay? There is a period that we all go through, especially at this level, where we feel as though you're not advancing, you're not making sufficient progress, and it's quite frustrating. But it's more up here, you know. We all go through it. So I want you to be prepared for when you get there, and know that as long as you keep at it, you will be okay. It's an emotional thing, okay? And maybe you're probably not making progress as quickly as you would like to, but I think the whole point is that you ought to stick to it and make a plan, perhaps add something else into your study routine, perhaps start reading a book or a series, do something different to add so you can start to see the difference. And it doesn't come overnight, it really doesn't. Okay, right. Number 4, know how to apply appropriate language. Okay, as I mentioned before, Spanish can be very regional. It changes from country to country, or from city to city, from community to community. It changes from north to south to west, east to west. It changes. Now, there are so many common expressions that you will hear in Spain, so many. And you have to remember what's spoken and what cannot be written. You have to make that clear differentiation. It's a choice. There are certain expressions that you say, you speak them, but you will not write them. Hence, the appropriate use of language. Okay? Lots of stuff you will say in English as well, but you wouldn't write it you wouldn't write it if you were doing an essay, would you? Same thing, so be aware of that. You might sound really cool, you might sound really fluent, but don't write it down, okay? Informal and formal language is very, very important. when you're writing. Okay? And the last one, this has followed you all the way from GCSE into A-level. The subjunctive. The subjunctive. I don't have to say anything else. You know what it's all about. Even now, sometimes I have to stop and think about the subjunctive. Okay, and this is what happens when you learn a language in a classroom. You have to think, oh gosh, how do I do that? And we tend to shy away from it. We try to omit it. When we can, we'll replace it with another tense because we struggle with it. We find it difficult. So, since we know that, don't shy away from it. Don't hide. You know, it's like sticking your head into the sand. The problem is still going to be there. So spend time on your subjunctive and apply it. You might make mistakes, that is true. I still make mistakes now. And if someone who is listening to me speak don't understand that I still make mistakes, that's up to them. I'm not going to have a fight with them. I'm not going to try and clarify. You know, it's a part of learning a new language. Spend time on it. Apply it. If you get it wrong, who is going to call the language police? Who is going to call the language police? Let them. Okay, so these are things that we need to be aware of. These are our biggest struggles, our 5 main struggles at GCSE. At GCSE? At A-level. We're stuck back at GCSE, aren't we? So at A-level, these are our problems. Let's face them. Let's face them head on and just keep going. And just remember that it's a journey. It doesn't happen overnight and you just have to keep at it. Okay, that's all you can do. And know that you never ever stop learning. Think about your own language. You will learn new words in English all the time. New definitions. So why should it be different when you're learning a new language? I applaud you. I applaud you, and just a massive well done for choosing a language, because it's notoriously difficult to do well in a language unless, as I mentioned at the beginning, you are of course coming from a home where they speak that language. And so with that, guys, I hope that you've got something out of this session, and well, go away and think about this and try to surround yourself with native speakers. First of all, to solve this one, try and surround yourself with native speakers. Do exchange. There are lots of platforms where you can do a language exchange. Do that so you're getting your practice in. False friends, go over them. Look for your real friends, your cognates, and look for your false friends. Know them. They're popular ones. Do them. Feeling stuck, that happens to all of us. You will get out of that place. You will. Knowing how to apply language. Learn informal and formal expressions. And subjunctive, just keep at it. That's all I can say. Okay, keep at it. And with that, guys, I'm going to leave you until next time. Okay? Anything you need, you know where to find me. Bye, guys.